Right, well, lovely to meet you again, Gemma.
And you.
I'm going to begin just by asking, when I first heard about this movie, my initial thought was, not another zombie movie. And then I saw it and realised that it's just incredible and it's so unique and new. And I was just wondering, when you first got the screenplay, if that sort of crossed your mind initially, and then if you were kind of won round by what was written.
Exactly, I felt the same. I mean, I've enjoyed zombie movies in the past. It's not necessarily what I'd necessarily go to see out of choice. But when I read the script, I didn't know Mike Carey's work, and I didn't know about Colm McCarthy, really. And I just read the script for what it was, and I just got totally sucked into it. I think what really spoke to me was this kind of more, it's much deeper than a regular zombie movie, and it's about, I guess the zombie metaphor is used frequently because it's a social commentary. It's about, I guess, about humans sort of devouring each other, and what, you know, and this film is about evolution and nature versus mankind, and it just spoke to me. And I guess also because it feels very humane. I mean, yeah, obviously we have the hungries, but at the heart of it is very sort of realistic, gritty human beings and their relationships. And what sets it apart is Melanie, Sennia's part. A little girl within that world completely refreshes the genre, I think.
So when you do read the screenplay, do you just strip it of all kind of supernatural elements and just look solely at the kind of human themes?
Yeah, that was all that we could do, I think. I think for Glenn, it was slightly different because she was playing a scientist, so she had all of the kind of jargon to say. But definitely for me, it was all about connecting to Sennia and the children and what it would actually be like to be in that sort of situation. And
Sennia is terrific in the lead role. I mean, obviously your character in the film is very protective over her. I was wondering if that was something that was sort of shadowed in real life, and if so, it must have been quite sad to sort of say goodbye at the end of the shoot.
Yeah, you know, it was. I did chemistry reads with the girls that were auditioning for the part, and Sennia obviously was one of them, and it was really important for us to get that relationship naturally. We both wanted to feel like we could just completely relax around each other, and I felt like, even though Sennia is very, very adaptable. She got on with everyone. We were a completely diverse cast in terms of, you know, our backgrounds and the styles of acting, and everything was very, very different. But she adapted to everyone. But with me, we were definitely the pals on set. She was always, you know, giving me hugs and cuddles, and yeah, it was really, really sad to say goodbye. But we're still friends, and we're always sort of texting each other. Yeah, and it's lovely to see her now sort of moving, now that it's just about to come out. It's a very exciting time for her.
I mean, so much of this film is about the kind of incredible atmosphere that's created, and the music is incredible as well. I was just wondering, does that mean when you kind of watch the film back, you're able to enjoy it more so perhaps as an audience member would, because so much of this feels like it was really put together in post-production?
Absolutely. I think Colm had such a vision in his mind. It's sort of, one of his favourite directors is Jonathan Glazer, who's one of mine as well. And I definitely got that sense from him, this sort of really cool, visually very sort of it feels like an art house film, plus this kind of electro soundtrack, and also the way he worked with beatboxers to use to voice the sounds of the hungries, and it just had this very, very cool, fresh spin. So then when we did finally see it, it was a real surprise. All of that sort of overhead stuff of London was all done in post, obviously, and for us it just felt like a day-to-day shoot. It was very, very real. Everything was tangible and in front of us, so to see all that extra stuff on top was really great.
Because you're producing soon too, I mean, do you think now that you're kind of actively sort of looking out at more sort of things like the soundtrack and the kind of the visual kind of aesthetic and things like the marketing, are you sort of even just subconsciously starting to pay more attention to that whole side of things outside of your own performance?
Yeah, I think I've always been like that as well. I think I've always had an appreciation of the bigger picture. Sometimes I think, I should just produce, because I really, really enjoy that. And I've always been this, even when I was a student, I would always be watching the end credits for all the production designers and getting to know. And I've got a sort of list in my head of things that I like. For me, the soundtrack's always one of the most important things. So yeah, on my film that I'm just about to produce, that's been a really great thing to get my head into.
And the producer Camille Gattin was asked if she could. I was reading she was asked if she could turn female roles in this film into male roles. I mean, she declined, obviously, which is great. I mean, that must be the sort of producer that you're sort of aspire to be, and someone that's really kind of now when you're about to sort of do this, someone that must really kind of sort of inspire you, I guess.
She's fantastic. I just adored her from the moment we met, and we actually are looking to produce something else together. We're looking to produce a film that's completely female crew and HOD and everything. But she's just fantastic because it's hard. You get to be a producer anyway, you get knockbacks all the time, and she just sort of stays strong, stays put. That's what we need. She's really fantastic.
But at the same time, it must still just piss you off so much, and that's still happening.
Yeah, it is. But I think now people are talking about it a bit more, so it's not such a big deal when you say no. I think, before you would think, oh God, we've got to get this movie made, maybe we should adapt. But now I think it's starting to change. So you can sort of speak up now.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. I'll see you again.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!